So my project for today is to make a bow. So I found myself a nice, perfectly straight, and actually it's standing dead. Now I've heard some conflicting information. Some people say use live, some people say use dead and seasoned. I'm going dead and seasoned because, quite frankly, this is a perfect shape, perfect diameter, and I'm not going to kill a perfectly healthy tree. So making a bow is going to be a little bit of a task, but not terribly challenging. I'm hoping the SXB will be the perfect tool for the chore. So I'm just making a couple of notches, not deep, but enough to mark the handle, and this is going to be my target. So my bow's a little over 4 feet in total length. This is the exact middle. Now this has a little bit of a curve to it, so I think I'm just going to play with that to my advantage. I'm just going to continue to run my notches around this side here, just scraping off that bark again as a target. This is what I'm aiming for with my carving. Sweet. Okay. And now this side. Alright, so now let's get my carve on. So far making fairly good progress. As you look at this side, planing it down pretty well. I definitely have a little bit of work to go, but you can see I have a pretty nice taper established, and then the end I have flared out just a little bit to give me a little bit of meat so I can get my string wrapped on. But I'm happy with how this is coming out, and also I am very happy with the performance of this SXB for this task. It's working extremely well. It gives me a number of different options really to work on this. And yeah, man, if I had to trust my life on a knife, I can tell you already, after using this for a couple days, this would definitely do it. What you making there, Will?
So we're working on the arrow. Just used a piece of spruce since that's the flattest, straightest thing around here. So it's about 2 feet long. And I figured I'd work all the grooves for the flights first. So we got 3 of them. They're a little sort of twisted, but that's just the grain of the wood. But they were pretty easy to cut in because you're cutting with the grain. So, and then I just tried to notch the back. That was a little trickier, starting to get the layers of wood peeling off a little bit. So it's not as deep as I'd like, but for with the hatchet, it's good. And once it's, I think once it's under tension, the rope should stay in there pretty good. So we're gonna lash this up. I brought some fishing line because that's just the easiest. So we'll lash these 3 up, and then once those are in, I'll probably just sharpen a tip here since I don't think we'll be able to find an arrowhead out of this stone here. So, and we'll see how she flies.
Now, would you make the whole thing with your, that's the Mora axe there, right?
Yep, yeah, so all this hatchet here.
Nice little Mora hatchet.
Yep, so like I said, actually these grooves are pretty easy to make because you're with the grain, but this, you can kind of see I lost a little piece right there. It's just starting to kind of break apart. So, before I do more damage than good, I'm gonna
just call it.
Yeah, call that a notch.
We'll go with it.
Yeah.
There it is.
We're no bow masters.
Should be able to give it a whirl.
We'll start it light. Start with a light tension. So I'm happy with my arrow, although I don't think it's gonna...
beautiful.
Looks cool. I don't think it's functional.
I like it.
I'm pretty sure it's not gonna go backwards.
Hopefully it doesn't go through the tents.
That would be
ridiculous.
All right, I'm gonna go light tension to start us off. I don't have much faith that these flights are gonna last long if they go. Yep.
It's stuck in the ground.
Not what we had hoped for. First flight.
We're not eating well tonight yet.
They make it look so easy in the movies. How much? I think it'd be nice if it was a notch longer.
Ooh.
Need more grip. So, first analysis, need better grip so I can pull the arrow back further.
But you need a longer.
Longer, or this has got to have like a little grit to it. Because as I pull more, I can't pinch hard enough. Right, like this is. I'll put it rough up with a little sand. Even just putting a few like little
grains.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just. Ooh, I feel like if you could.
Let's give that one more shot here. That was not bad.
Maybe try this way. Maybe this is again. I'm no bowman, so I'm no archer. Hold it like this. I feel like that's the better hold.
Whatever you did the time before was good.
Yeah, that I'm pinching just the arrow.
Yeah.
And I'm not holding the string, but again, the arrow's too slippery. So now I'm trying to come above it with like a pinch down, so I can pull the cord.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's not gonna. That pops off. So now you gotta pinch the arrow.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I feel like it went fairly straight.
Yeah,
it's better.
It's definitely the back of the arrow needs more grip.
Let me give it a shot. So not bad overall. I'm actually fairly happy with the shape of this. And at this point, see if it'll actually shoot something. Okay.
There you go.
Got it to go straight. Has no velocity.
Well, you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
it's like you feel like it's gonna slip out of your hands.
It is very hard to pinch. So yeah, if we made another one a little bit longer.
The arrow actually seemed like it was the easiest thing to make. I might go make another one.
Took a while though, but it wasn't too bad. What if we went to the inside? That'd be better. I should go to the inside.
I don't. That's not how they usually go.
I feel like that'll be better. Oh, love it. I'd have to carve this out a lot more to get like much better flex on it.
Right.
I can barely pull this back. I mean, there's a lot of meat.
Yeah.
So. Or like even in a way, like if the cord stretched just a little bit.
There's a more elasticity to it.
Just a little bit, yeah. Let's try this again. Let's try this. What a mess. It's just something to do. Yeah, this is real hard to hold on to.
Better stick to the slingshot.
Yeah.
You're better with that.
Back to the slingshot. Hey, it's...
I'm gonna make a new arrow and see if that was any better.
Let's try that. So, arrow 2.0.
2.0. The quills are closer by 1 notch of the knots in the branch to give us more grip. And then I also cut in a little finger pinch because we determined pulling back, if you pinch the arrow, you're a little bit more accurate than holding the string. So see what happens.
Attempt 2.0. Let's see what happens. All right, watch out, boys. Anything
Get out of the way.
could happen.
I'm shooting uphill.
Uphill?
That's easy, but
All right.
everyone over here, behind me.
I'll let you shoot at me.
Probably hit us
That's
anyway.
good.
I might. Could be a twisted. Could be one of those twisted ones.
That means we should go right in front of you.
That's gonna get destroyed a little more. All right, let's see. This seemed like a remarkable difference. A little bit of grip, but still hard to pull back. Definitely think a different string choice might be a
Better. Yeah,
Better.
that stuff's thick. Go to full rip. Ah, you almost killed the trash bags.
eat some trash for dinner.
That worked.
Did it survive?
Yeah. Careful, this will be
I'm putting my life at.
This is my money
at risk.
shot right here. You
Yep.
have to be careful.
If you get me, it's going through your tent. Nice.
Definitely get a little bit more glossy to it, but definitely no accuracy.
Let me give it a rip.
Yeah, look out.
At good speed.
Too bad. Don't know if it would stick into anything.
Oh yeah.
Bounce off if
If I could get something to go 10 yards and land straight, that would be a success, let alone stick into an actual animal.
No, it'd bounce off it would laugh.
Don't worry, I have my throwing knives ability to just bounce off it some more. Better grip though, right?
Much better grip. I would say significantly improved. And I think my biggest challenge is less the arrow and more the stiffness of the bow. I'd really have to carve this down a lot more and get a better flex, but
Right.
I would say the arrow is like remarkably improved.
Right.
Like if you could start from scratch and do it day one, this is, I think, what you would do.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like the bow is definitely a fine line of too thin or... That was good.
Not bad. Yeah, we made a
Day one.
a mock-up of a primitive tool.
Yeah. I'm sure the first bow they made wasn't perfect.
I'll take it. Nice. And so now, after a fun-filled weekend with my friends and family, we're back in the studio, and I thought I'd show you this in just a little more detail. Now, that was a good experiment overall. I did have a great time using the SXB to carve this bow. It is certainly not perfect. I mean, I've never done it before, and this was really my first attempt, and I think it came out fairly well. Now, a few things that I learned. First off, I definitely did not go thin enough on the limbs here. So that's the first thing. I need to thin out these limbs a little more, just get a little more flex out of the bow in general. I think my handle size was pretty good. I could have probably gone maybe a little bit shorter, got another maybe inch on each one of the limbs, so that can be reworked if I want to and continue to taper and profile this down. Now, overall, I was very happy using the SXB as a draw knife. I thought it worked extremely well to help me carve and shape this. And what I did the entire time, and I didn't really show it too much, but I was very careful to constantly sight right down the bow and try to keep that fairly straight. Now, there is a minor twist that has developed since this has kind of been drying out a little bit. Not a huge deal. I think it actually will still work hopefully fairly well as long as my string is centered. Not too big of a deal. but I do think that this could use a little bit of help. I mean, I did manage to get some fairly decent shots, but the fact of the matter is that this does not have too much flex. And I also think, if you look at it in detail, that the paracord that I used was unfortunately too thick. This stuff is very thick, but it's what I had with me at the time. So the next thing for me would be to slim down the limbs. So each one of these, just slimming them down a little bit to get a little more flex, and then also using a thinner line for the string. Now the other thing I could do is wrap the handle, which might be nice, but overall I think this was definitely, as I mentioned, just a real cool project and something to try. Now another place where the SXB definitely helped me was with notching. So for my line up on the top here and just stringing this up, I made a nice notch with the SXB that indexed extremely well, and that line just really locking into place. I could probably notch it out a little more on the sides, but it didn't really need it, to be honest with you. You can see here on this one, same exact thing, so both sides going pretty well, and you can see that exact thickness, if you would call it the kerf of the SXB notching blade there. So working very, very well. Now the SXB, I do have to say, unbelievably balanced, and especially since I added that lanyard. The lanyard on here working extremely well for me and just giving me some additional balance and the ability to really get back on the blade and trust it. So some nice easy chops working at the log, using it as a draw knife and pulling the knife to carve, pushing the knife through the wood and using that notch. A number of different ways to use this, and even straight up carving tasks. So this SXB for me was just a real great tool. It performed extremely well for firecraft. It performed extremely well for the wilderness application. So using this to make a primitive tool, the Bushcraft bow, this was an extremely effective tool. And overall, I have to say, I am extremely impressed. So alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that, using the Tops SXB, designed by EJ Skull Crusher Snyder, to make a Bushcraft bow. Like I said, overall, pretty good experiment, but I definitely could improve in the future. Not the knife's fault, that's just me, but hey, you know what? Everything's a learning experience. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.